Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 92 million miles is an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended life forms are so amazingly primitive that two of them still think doing a podcast called Digital Watches are a pretty neat idea is a pretty neat idea. These podcasters have, or rather had, a problem, which was this. Actually, this is the solution.
We followed a dreamer and made a podcast where people could share the concept that digital watches are a pretty neat idea. We followed a man who said, let's think the unthinkable. Let's do the undoable. Let us prepare to grapple with the ineffable itself and see if we may not F it after all. Come meet the two men who know how to F things up better than most. Your hosts, Bryan and Jeff.
Hey, Bryan, what's this?
Well, Jeff, this is the 6th issue of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency's The Salmon of Doubt. And based on the cover we're looking at, it looks like Dirk's got himself in a sticky situation.
Yes, he does.
So what'd you think about that theme song there, bud?
Well, I thought it was great, and I had the pleasure of editing it down, even though it's still over a minute long. But I was quite amazed at how many times they sung our name over and over and over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the original version was, 2.5 minutes long or almost 3 minutes, I think. Something like that.
And everything I cut out was our names.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that AI thing seems to do, They give you 3-minute songs.
Right.
No, I really loved it. I thought it was great. I just love the way they say our names.
Yeah, except Jeff is supposed to come first.
Yeah, well, I thought about that. But B is before J, so...
And it does sound better in the song. Has a better ring to it in the song the other way around.
Oh, boy.
So let's talk about the sticky situation that Dirk is in.
Yeah, let's talk about that sticky situation. Well, the title on the cover says, Rowdy 3 Become 1.
Yes. So this issue must be about the Rowdy 3. All 4 of them.
Yes, and when we're looking at the picture, there's a couple embracing tongue to tongue.
Yes. Almost, because there's something in the way.
That's right. Dirk is right jammed in the middle of everything.
Yes, you heard that right. Dirk is between the two tongues of the people who are trying to kiss.
And there's 3 little cherubs shooting arrows at them, which I suppose represent the Rowdy 3.
I think it would be Amanda and whoever the leader of the Rowdy 3 was in the TV show. I don't remember what his name was, but there was one guy who was in charge.
Right, exactly. So quite an entertaining cover before we even get started.
Yes. Well, we will go inside and we will see the previously on. And like the last issue, all panels from other issues and text boxes that are explaining the through line. And the first 4 of the text boxes are all the same. I wanted to use Reg's time machine to investigate my childhood, but Sally was transported to an alternate timeline and met child other me, whilst I met a sister and brother afflicted with pararibulitis, avoided an old friend, Colonel Riggins, and then the new information, ran into an overprotective father named Simon Black, whose daughter Farah needed help, so I called in Other Dirk. Remember, everything is connected.
Right.
So we'll go to the next page and we will see if there is anybody new making an appearance in this issue. So the Dramatis Personae. It appears that pretty much everybody who we've been introduced to is making an appearance.
The only new picture on this page is a picture of one of the Rowdy Three.
Yep.
And it says below it, Chaos Embodied ×4.
Right.
Because, of course, as we know, there's 4 members of the Rowdy Three.
Right. And even though we've met the Rowdy Three in previous issues, they're actually using different pictures each time they introduce the Rowdy Three into the comic book.
Interesting.
All right, so we will go to the first page of the story.
Well, Jeff, this page is reminiscent of a previous page in this comic book series where we're looking at a silhouette of Sally as she's lit up in the background by the multiple monitors that she's staring into as she's having basically an internal dialogue.
Yes. She's kind of describing the images on the TV that she sees. She's looking at childhoods he's never had, and a mysterious military figure. This guy, he's in charge of the Blackwing stuff. Picture of Bart is people with powers like his. Then, like we've said many different times about this entire comic series, looking at Amanda on fire saying, not sure what's happening here. And then she sees a picture of the Rowdy Three, all 4 of them, in the bottom left-hand corner.
Right. And, well, now I kind of understand the cover page, because actually it looks like the little cherubs on the front must be the Rowdy Three.
And even though we're expecting it to have been Amanda on the cover, when Sally is looking at the Rowdy Three, she says that these guys were the ones who escaped. Really cute. Hey, I'm doing this for Dirk, but girls got needs. So maybe that's Sally on the cover.
Maybe. So in the bottom right-hand panel, we have Sally remarking once again to the hi-fi. She says, okay, Mr. Microwave, I know where I want to go next. And the hi-fi says,
I am not a microwave. So she quit calling him a hi-fi.
Right.
So we'll move on to page 4 and 5. Because once again, a double page. So they really take advantage of these double pages with their artwork. So we find out we are in Seattle. And there's an overview of the street. And Dirk is looking at the crowd of people, basically complaining that everybody seems to walk like they know where they're going, even when they don't. So his randomly following people who look like they know where they're going is quite difficult.
Right. I'm still a little flummoxed, but I got it.
And while he is trying to decide, he hears his name called. And he goes, yes, no, I'm undercover. And they do a really good depiction of a person being torn on which way to go.
Right, right.
And then Farah walks up to him and says, hey, I'm Farah Black. We thought we're meeting at the hotel. Why are you here?
Right. He says he went out for some tea and, I forgot the name of the hotel.
Right. Which he's standing in front of if you look at the...
Yep. You see the Pearman Grand Hotel in the back of the scene. Dirk tries to explain that his methods are unique.
Yes. And in the crowd of people, and I don't know if this is something that is intentional or coincidence. But there's somebody that is holding up a sign that says, "Sinners will burn." And we do know that Amanda has been catching on fire. So I'm wondering if this is playing into that, or if it's just your stereotypical "sinners will burn" sign that you see on city streets.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I've been staring at this image for quite some time, trying to figure out if there's anything here that we're missing. And I'm not sure that there is.
Nope, I think it's pretty cut and dry. I don't know why all the pipes are on the outside of the building. It's Seattle. It's got to get quite cold there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we will move to page 6 and 7, because again, another double page. So the overview of the double page is a building that Dirk is on the top of, looking down with his binoculars and a parabolic microphone, keeping an eye on the other me. And he sees Farah taking Dirk over to the Pyramid Grand. And I'm kind of impressed with Dirk's observation skills.
Yes, at this point, as he's looking down off the roof, his inner dialogue goes something along like this. He says to himself, his execution is sloppy, but at least he knows the rules. Rule number 7, never meet the client where they asked you to meet them. Sets the power dynamic all wrong. And who's that, he asks himself.
And so he looks down and he sees Todd in his bellman outfit. And he says, "This one is familiar. He looks a bit like Fire Girl, the brother." So he recognized a family resemblance between the girl who was on fire and a random bellman on the street. I guess he is so used to the interconnectedness of everything that it makes his mind jump there pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
And then there's a giant vroom that comes out of nowhere.
And in this panel on the right-hand side of the page, we see Dirk in both his incarnations.
Yep.
And Todd looking over their shoulder towards the sound, wondering what the heck that is.
Right.
And probably the most interesting thing on this page is the sign that's attached to the side of the building, which starts to spell out MILLIWA.
Yes.
Millie Ways. Little Easter egg for us.
Yes. The end of the universe is in Seattle.
I knew that's where it was going to be.
Right. So we will move to page 8. Well, the large vroom noise was the Rowdy 3 van tearing up the road. And Dirk is now terrified.
Both of his incarnations are terrified.
Yes.
The one with Farah seems to want to go back and find tea at the hotel.
Right.
While the one on the roof has a different thought.
He decided that the other Dirk being scared was a clue, and he likes clues, even the terrifying ones. So we'll move to page 9. So on this page, we are inside the van of the Rowdy 3, and they are being rowdy.
Yep.
They have loud music playing.
They're swinging bats at each other, tempting each other to hit them.
Yes. Hit me. It's no fun unless you hit me. You know, if I had a nickel.
The odd part about the interior of the van, to me, seems to be that they have chains suspended at various places from the roof of the van. Just hanging there, just some big old chains.
Right. I guess to randomly hit them when they go around corners.
I guess so.
But the driver must have seen something and just slams on the brakes.
And the reaction in the back is, as you would expect, physics threw them all forward.
Yes. Into the driver.
Into the driver.
As they're all flying forward, one of them that asked to be hit said, "Not like that." And then somebody's going, What? And then there's a third one.
Why does he yell Kong?
I don't know.
For some unknown reason, he screams out Kong?
Right. So, unsure on what that is.
Exactly. Bats are flying and chains are flinging, but who knows what's happening?
Right. So we'll go to page 10. So the reason the driver slammed on the brakes is apparently Sally Mills has materialized in a superhero pose, landing on the hood of the van, pressing up against the windshield.
Mm-hmm. And he remarks as he's looking up at her, "I know you, you're Tree Girl."
And she says, "I know you, handsome chaos mercenary man."
And then Sally, with a sly look, compliments Mr. Microwave.
And Mr. Microwave starts, "I am not, what's the use?" So I think he will just accept any
moniker.
That's it, that she chooses. So we will go to page 11.
Elsewhere.
Yes.
Is he sitting on the toilet? Jeez.
There's no evidence to suggest otherwise. No evidence that is conclusively proving he is. And that would be Peas Bottom.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. This is not what I expected when we turned this page, Jeff.
No, so they're showing the fantasy land, and then there's a castle, and smoke is coming out of the castle, and the smoke is becoming cat frogs, or cat chickens. It looks like it's a bird leg.
Cat chickens, yep.
Well, it's even hard to say that because it looks like they have human hands.
Yeah, it's
human
very
hands, cat body, bird feet. And then we've already mentioned Peas Bottom sitting down with a grimacing look on his face.
Like he has something to do.
Yes. Trying to make something materialize.
Uh-huh.
And we've got the Frogators, or whatever we called them.
Yes.
Still in their battle. And I believe last episode I spoke and I said, well, at least there isn't a moat. Well, evidently there is a moat.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Holy moly. We got a moat. And it doesn't look like it's filled with nice, clean, clear water, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's yellow.
Quite yellow. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we've got a little inset picture of our friend Reg and his new best friend Izzy.
Yes.
Trying to hide from whatever chaos is going on around them.
Correct. All right. So we'll see what chaos ensues on page 12. Okay, Brian, I am going to explain what I see on this page, and you are going to tell me how it is possible.
Okay.
So the upper left-hand corner, we see Peas Bottom pulling on a rope.
That's right.
Nope, he is not flushing the toilet. He is pulling up the drawbridge that is over the moat. The next thing we see is the drawbridge going up, and the Frogators are stopped at the end of what now became a pier because they cannot get into the castle because the drawbridge is up. They then show a Frogator apparently trying to jump over into the castle somehow, but either way, Reg and Izzy are on the other side of the moat, and Izzy is telling Reg to be quiet. And then next thing, Izzy and Reg are running up the stairs of the castle, inside the castle, even though they were on the other side of the moat when the drawbridge went up. And there's a little bit more to this, but this is where I would like your explanation.
Okay. I think there's only one flaw in your explanation of the page.
Okay.
When Peasbottom pulls the rope, unintuitively, and that's why I can understand what you were thinking, he is releasing the drawbridge.
Oh, he's
and
putting
it is
it down.
coming down.
Ah.
Right. So, unlike what we would expect, and and even the ropes and stuff that are shown as attached to the drawbridge don't really make much sense. But the drawbridge is coming down in the second panel. It comes down, and then the Frogators enter the castle, and shortly after that, Reg and Isaac storm the castle.
So somehow they snuck past the Frogators.
Right after the Frogators. I think
After the
Frogators entered
Frogators.
first, and then they came in after.
Okay. So my mistake was not realizing the drawbridge was going down.
Mm-hmm. It's not very clear.
Well, not that I would know how to draw it any better to show it was going down versus up.
Right,
But
right.
normally when somebody's pulling on a rope, then something is being raised.
Yeah, exactly. The physics of it doesn't make any sense. And why would it be a rope that he would pull on when it's clearly chains that are holding the drawbridge?
Right. Well,
So lots of pieces are not worked out very well in that particular
yes.
drawing.
And somehow he has released all the tension on the rope because the chains are all slack. So the drawbridge isn't just...
Coming down. It's crashing down.
So I guess if
Yeah.
I was to draw this, a better depiction would have not been Peasbottom pulling the rope with the creak sound. He would have been letting it go.
Right.
And then it would have been falling fast the way it
Right.
appears to be falling.
Right.
All right.
Yep. All of our traditions say when a drawbridge is being lowered, we've got cranes and barrels of chain being slowly released on a wheel of some kind. So
Yes.
Logics that we are aware of don't seem to apply in this particular fantasy land.
Nope. But it is a fantasy land.
That is true. But as Reg and Isaac are ascending the stairs, Reg is saying to Izzy that it's about this time in the story that we ought to come up with a plan.
Right.
But
A little bit late.
that's
Because
right.
Peasbottom has grabbed Izzy. So we will move to page 13. We've now jumped back to the Rowdy Three, and they appear to be in some sort of forest, and the van is parked, and a couple of squirrels are getting a drink out of the brook. And maybe they will bring them little scraps of paper.
For their entertainment while they're
Yes.
paused in the woods. Boy, that guy's flexible.
Which guy is flexible?
The first picture on the page, or the second picture on the page, they show him jumping over the van.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Let
Open the
her
door. Yeah.
in, out? I guess
Out.
at this point, because they're out in
Yes.
the woods. All right, so they've had a little bit of a ride. But he does like a backflip over the van.
Yes. And he lets Sally out of the van, saying, "Lady?" And she's like, "Thank you." So being very formal.
Yes, very formal. Then they're all sitting around in a group, and Sally says, "So let me understand this. You guys are in that facility."
And one of them says, "Blackwing had no facilities."
Another one replies, "No stars, negative TripAdvisor.
One of them says, "They had room service?"
On metal trays with plastic cutlery."
And then he says, "Blackwing was a prison. Rowdies weren't meant to be kept in no cage." All right. So we'll go to page 14. So Sally asks them basically why they were put in prison. And she said that Svlad, the little boy, said it held people with unique abilities. "What can you do? Show me." And the leader says, carefully, to the other three. And then all four of them seem to suck out Sally.
Life forces, anyway.
Yes.
Well, that's a different interpretation of it.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. But she does seem to enjoy it quite a bit.
Just read what Sally said.
She says,
And perform this. Don't just read the words. I would like you to perform what Sally said.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, you
She
can
goes,
do it.
Oh my God.
And then she's sitting there very satisfied with a big smile on her face. And two of them look confused, like they've never had that reaction before.
Mm-hmm.
So on to page 15. So on this page, we start by seeing Sally with her eyes closed, and then they slowly open, and she says, well, that's some ability.
And in the next part of the panel, she's in the embrace of the leader as if she'd fainted and he was catching her.
Yes. And he's saying, as I suspected, not everyone reacts the way you did. I didn't want to hurt you.
And she says, oh, you didn't hurt me.
No.
Quite the opposite, actually.
And she's got butterflies landing on her. And he's like, but you passed out.
Yes, and she's flipping her hair back. She says, but not from pain. And she asks, where are the others? Oh, subtle as a rock, huh?
And I'm not quite sure what she's asking. Like, are they alone? Or bring the others?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Right. Well, we'll go to page 16. So the leader of the group explains to Sally that the rest of them went to get supplies. Even though they don't eat normal food, they figured she could use something. So the others will be destroying a McDonald's right about now.
And Sally asks, well, because you feed on what?
He says, emotion. The stronger, the better. Fear, anger, distress, confusion. Each has its own special taste, and everyone is different. You have a very special flavor.
And she says, oh, that's sweet of you to say, and you do this without touching?
We can do it all sorts of ways. Most people don't tend to look kindly at touching. So, of course, they touch. Hands.
Oh, my goodness.
This Arvin David has got some repressed... whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll move to page 17.
Oh. Well, at least now we know who was kissing on the cover.
Yep. We kind of figured it out. And here we have a full page of the leader of the Rowdy Three and Sally in an embrace pressed up against a tree with flowers floating in the air all around them. And Sally wanted to know if it was stronger if you touch. And I'm surprised he didn't say, not stronger, just harder.
Oh, boy. Not nearly as graphic as our scene from the previous series.
No, the Spoon Too Short African safari scene was a little more graphic. But this is a very well-drawn, beautiful page, regardless
It is, and it kind of implies that the embrace is what's producing the flowers, which is kind of neat.
Yes. So we'll move to page 18. So it appears that the leader of the group and Sally have retired to the van, and Dirk is arriving on a bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm a little bit upset with, not liking the fact that the Dirk dialogue is for the other Dirk, not this Dirk. This Dirk is saying things that the other Dirk would say, but this one wouldn't, or hasn't really too much so far. So he's saying, never let it be said that I can't do follow that van. I totally can follow that van. And then when he gets to the van, he says, prepare to be holistically investigated, scary van people. And I don't see him saying that. That's the other Dirk.
And And then finally, this is the last page in this comic and the last panel on this page. It's Dirk encountering Sally. And he says, "What the?" Sally responds,
"Dirk."
And then Dirk responds, "Sally, what are you doing? And who is he? And what are you doing with him?"
And then evidently the other guy says, "I'm Martin. I don't know you, but you smell very familiar."
Oh my gosh. And then, of course, it says at the bottom, "To be continued."
Yes.
And unlike on previous issues, there's no indication of what the next issue's title would be.
No, there isn't. A mystery.
It's kind of interesting because the bike, in the upper panel, you can see the front headlight or plate on the bike, and it says City Bikes. Mm-hmm. In other words, one of those rent-a-bikes that he's absconded with and drove it out to the country on.
You don't think he rented it?
Oh, yes, of course he did. He whipped out his cell phone and rented that bike. Oh, my gosh. It's Seattle, after all. There's lots of free bikes lying around, you know?
That's right. And one of the things that I guess I'm a little bit surprised by, and I'm going to refer back to the TV show, this is a comic book. So you can do or draw whatever you want. There's no budget on creating something.
Right.
The Rowdy 3 van in the TV show was much better than what they have drawn here.
Yes.
This is just a van with some squiggly Rowdy 3 written in just no specific style or character, or makes it look menacing in any way.
Right.
When the Rowdy 3 van showed up on the TV show, you knew it was something bad.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is correct. And I think it's odd, too, because if you look up on top, it's absolutely packed full of supplies and stuff.
Luggage.
On the top of the van. Luggage and stuff. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird. It's very strange. Well, I didn't anticipate this book ending quite like this, did you?
I didn't, but since it did, I just want to say this is the end, but you didn't ask me what was happening next week, so I could. It was a perfect place to end it.
I know. Well, do you want to go and do that? I mean, we can.
I'm just ending it.
More.
This is the end. You have to guess what's next time. We saw them before when they were shooting down the plane with, what was his name? The guy that they shot with the slingshot up into the helicopter.
Oh, right. He's the fourth member of the Rowdy 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name is.
Damn it.
Sorry.
How can we be so unprepared?
Well, because we had no idea. We didn't look ahead.
Thank you for listening to this. A new episode is released on the first Thursday of every month. Visit our website at digitalwatchesareaprettyneatidea.buzzsprout.com. While there, you can find links to all of my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy inspired t-shirt designs. You can contact us via email at digitalwatchespodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook at Digital Watches Are a Pretty Neat Idea. You can message us on Twitter, or should I say X, at Watches Idea, and our Instagram is Watches Idea Podcast.
This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production.